Morning, good evening, good afternoon, world, and welcome to the Rainbow Warrior, the kid, the swing man, episode 24
The GOAT.
of Ball Don't Lie. I'm your host, Jared, always with my lovely, radiant co-host, Starkey.
What's up, everyone?
Starkey, it's been a while.
It has.
We have a lot to talk about. I've been told our show's a little too long, but we have 2 weeks to catch up on, folks. This could be a 2-hour show. I don't know. And if it is...
We never really know once we get rolling how long it's going to go.
Yes, so I've been told it's a little too long, but guess what I say to naysayers? I say nay. We keep it the length as always. We have a great show in store tonight. We're going to talk about the college football realignment, because that happened the week that Starkey had to take off for a vacation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh, it's okay. Just our listeners in Australia were probably disappointed.
They don't understand the 4th of July.
America. And then we have MLB All-Star starters and reserves got announced yesterday. Yep. And we have probably, you could arguably say, the best thing of the year. NBA Summer League is going on. And we have NBA free agency happening. A lot's happened in almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has.
A lot has happened in 2 weeks since we last aired. Starkey, let's get to it.
Real quick, though, for our listeners, we have a new addition to the Ball Don't Lie family. No more children.
I was about to say, I don't recall having another one.
But for our listeners who are on social media, Ball Don't Lie is officially on Twitter. So go follow us at BDL_podcast. Keep up with us. We will be tweeting the links for every episode. Share us. You can follow me personally, Dalton Starkey _ Jared at JaredX52. We would really appreciate y'all's follows on the socials. So if you love us here, give us some love on Twitter.
I'm going to be honest, folks. I'm kind of a boring follow some days on Twitter. I just retweet things, if we're being completely honest. I'm a big retweeter. I don't... Oh, by the way, before we get started in college football, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Zach Wilson is the GOAT, and I'm buying a Zach Wilson jersey. People, just Google his name. He's a legend. Let's go, Zach Wilson. Starkey, no comments?
I have nothing for that. I'm putting the fifth.
Okay, heard that. Ocho Cinco even said he's the GOAT. Let's go ahead and jump into it, Starkey. While we were gone, conference realignment happened. Probably the most shocking realignment of them all. We had USC and UCLA leave the Pac-12 for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Makes zero sense geographically.
At this point, no conference makes sense geographically.
It makes zero sense economically.
And they're joining a conference that is literally being carried by 2 schools right now.
Well, if you really think about it, though, when I think of Big Ten, I don't think of football. I think of basketball.
They automatically go Michigan and Ohio State football.
Well, see, I think that, but I think of everybody else more as a basketball school.
Yeah.
Big Ten. That whole conference, everybody say always a shoe window make the tournament in basketball almost every year.
So,
football, half of them suck every year, and it's boring football. I hate watching Big Ten football some weeks. There's really only one true fun Big Ten team to watch, and that's Ohio State.
Yeah.
Everybody else, literally, I say that my in-laws are Purdue fans. I'm going to a Purdue game this year. But
there you go.
Granted, I wouldn't say I hate it. It's just not sexy. It's not wow.
Yeah.
They're literally going to run the ball down your throats, power I. The fullback is still alive in the Big Ten.
Yep.
And they're going to stack the box. I'm going to be very shocked to see how UCLA and UCLA and USC with Lincoln Riley and Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
If Chip makes another year there, how they will have their little spread option offense will translate to the Big Ten. Plus, honestly, if you really think about it, how many kids from LA, how many kids, because they recruit mainly from California, Arizona, probably Nevada, all that.
Yeah.
Of course, they get their Texas kids, they get their Florida kids, they get, trust me, UCLA and USC can get their kids no matter what.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
where
100%.
they are. What kid doesn't want to go to Los Angeles for college? But
Exactly.
you look at the kids they get, how many of them do you think see snow? Very seldom.
Very, very few.
And you also got to think, too, how many of those kids, I mean, granted, not kids, but how many, granted, they still play Oregon. They play Oregon State. They play Washington. They play Washington State. They play Utah. Granted, you're not playing those schools half the time. Granted, half the Pac-12 is in the South.
Yeah.
Like Southwest Coast, like California, Arizona. I mean, Colorado gets a little cold, but you got California schools where it ain't getting cold. You got Arizona schools. It ain't getting cold there. Granted, the other places get cold, but not like Wisconsin cold in October. Not Nebraska cold in October.
Right.
Not even Lansing, Michigan, or Ann Arbor, Michigan in October, November.
No.
Hey, not even Pennsylvania. Hey,
Yeah.
all power to them. I mean, they're trying to make a wow. Everybody's going after the SEC. So the thing is, the Pac-12 has slots to fill. And since we've literally thrown the window of, or we've literally thrown geography, sorry, not geographic, but geography off the table, where's Memphis in any of these?
I still think Memphis is holding out for the Big 12.
Honestly,
if we left of it.
If I am Memphis, the Pac-12 says, hey, come on. You do not wait.
Yeah.
I have read the Pac-12 is looking at 2 to 4 schools.
Yeah.
I know for a fact Boise State is one of those schools.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Boise State is a competitor in football, basketball, and women's basketball, the 3 main money sports. Baseball, I think they're okay, but I know the football and basketball and women's basketball, they're always making postseasons almost every year.
And they're right there.
It does, but remember, geography doesn't make a sense anymore in this conference realignment. So if I'm Memphis, I'm hopping on it if you can get it in. But the other schools, I've read San Diego State. I don't know about that one. I know it's a small school. Granted, they're decent in football.
Baseball.
Well, I would say they're more competitive in basketball. Remember?
Yeah, that's true.
When I think of San Diego State, I think of basketball.
Yeah.
Football, I mean, they're literally if any team from the West Coast is going to join the Big Ten, it'd be San Diego State. Wanna know why? Fullback, running back. They literally do eye backfield every play. And will run the ball down your throat. Then I've been reading a lot of Utah State.
Shout out to Coach Blake Anderson.
I don't know if I think Utah State is just enrollment-wise. If you're adding 2 schools, I don't think they don't bring you money. Now, if you get Memphis fans have proven they can show up and show out.
We'll travel for sure,
and we will travel. I just go ahead.
Another name to keep your eye on. Weirdly enough, I think would be BYU.
BYU's going to Big 12.
Oh, they are going Big 12.
Yeah, BYU's going to. Yeah, everyone forgets about BYU of all the places is going to Big 12.
Okay, I totally forgot.
I forget it on a daily basis.
Do what?
I said that's literally my most forgotten team going to Big 12 because it's Houston, SMU, not Houston. It's Houston, Cincinnati, UCF, and BYU are going to the Big 12.
Okay.
Because Memphis fans are pissed at the Mormons. One love to Zach Wilson, and they're pissed that UCF are going there because that was their spot. Granted, here's the thing: Memphis, you waited too long to make the stadium.
Oh yeah,
you waited way too long to redo the stadium. That's a big selling point.
I still think not having a stadium on campus hurts too.
Well, not really, because if you look at it, technically so I went to Ole Miss, big party school, okay? Remember, certain schools cannot sell alcohol on campus.
Yeah.
That's what kept Memphis afloat during the Larry Porter years. was alcohol sales. People literally drink. Remember, up for a while, if you are off campus, you can do whatever you want to do.
That's true.
I mean, that's how Memphis kept afloat during football season during the Larry Porter years.
People were drinking the pain away.
You got to when you only won 3 games in 3 years. The FCS schools had more fans in the stands than us. You couldn't pay me to go to Memphis Tiger football game back in the day. But
yeah.
Also, the SEC announced today, because there was rumors that broke last week, that 4 ACC schools were thinking of leaving Memphis, or not leaving. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I don't want Memphis is on my mind, folks. I'm pissed right now. Get the Tigers in the Power 5 school. But you had there broke last Thursday. 4 ACC teams were looking to join the SEC. It was North Carolina, Clemson, Virginia, and FSU.
Florida State, yes.
Holy cow, that would have made the SEC the powerhouse.
Oh, 100%.
Like, that makes the Vandy, Mississippi State, that makes the Vandy, Mississippi State, Missouri ADs. They deserve, I mean, granted, Mississippi State's been there, but they're kind of the bottom dwellers in some sports nowadays. But mainly, I would say get the Vandy and get the Missouri athletic ADs, athletic director, get them statues on campus if that would have happened.
Yeah.
I think Vandy could maybe win 2 games a year and it'd be non-conference. And they would still make millions of dollars in football season.
Oh, 100%.
They would do way better than Memphis would financially in football season. And here's the thing, they can't kick you out.
No.
Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
Unless you do something really stupid. But so that deal actually got busted today. I was all for it. I said, hey, Greg Sankey, get the credit card out.
Bring them on.
But the reason why is I read that the ACC had a loophole in every school's and every ACC school's contract saying if they were to leave for the SEC, it would cost $500 million if they went to leave to join the SEC. That's $2 billion if those 4 teams left.
Woo.
Here's the thing, though. If I'm the SEC, if you were to make that happen, you have the financial TV. ESPN would pay that in a heartbeat. CBS Sports would pay that in a heartbeat. So the reason why I read somewhere the reason why Miami, of all places, probably one of the most well-known Florida schools, wasn't on there. They were looking at certain schools because of recruiting battles.
Yeah.
If you go to Miami going to the SEC, that could be a well thing for a lot of South Florida kids not go to Florida and not go to Tallahassee. Be great. Honestly, I think it should still happen. Plus, it would screw Louisville, and I think it'd be the best thing ever. They screwed Memphis twice. They screwed Memphis when they left for the Big East, and they screwed Memphis again when they left the American to go to the Atlantic Coastal Conference. Payback.
Yep.
Could have been sweet. But a lot of this is still going on. A lot of people are still saying Notre Dame has a lot of bargaining power ahead.
Yes. I heard today that I believe it's the Big Ten is looking at adding Notre Dame.
So the Big Ten is looking at adding Notre Dame, and if they don't get Notre Dame, I've heard they're going after Oregon and they're going after Washington, which we're literally saying, screw it, we're going out of the Northwest for geography.
Yeah.
What's a couple playing? Those kids definitely aren't going to be in class during football and basketball season.
Oh, no.
Oh, and baseball. Yeah, they're definitely not going to class. But Notre Dame, so the reason why Notre Dame is so hesitant for 2 things. One, they have their, as everybody knows, during football, they're independent football. But for women's sports and men's basketball, baseball, and wrestling, they're Atlantic Coastal Conference, ACC.
Yep.
During COVID year, 2021, 2020 to 2021, that was their first time ever competing for a conference championship in football.
Yep.
They've never been in a conference, so they literally own their own. They have their own TV deal too. That's mainly what I was trying to get at. They have their own TV deal with NBC Sports sign up for football because they're in basketball, baseball. That they go to ESPN, but for football, they're if it is a home game or most away games, they are on NBC.
Yep.
So cone contract. So one thing I was talking to Billy Wyatt, the bookie, with was if you go to the ACC or you go to the Big Ten, if I'm the commissioner for either one of these conferences, I'm saying, hey, we want you here. Let's make more money. We will give you all your home games on either in every sport on NBC, and all your away games have to be on our channels, and we'll split it with you 70-30. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
I think Notre Dame would jump at that. I really do.
now if I'm Notre Dame, because Notre Dame is big. Like if everybody played NCAA football growing up on an Xbox, PlayStation, Notre Dame was always one of those big trophy games. I remember that they play for a lot of trophies. If you look at it, a lot of their trophies are now in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's time we go to the Big Ten. I mean, if I'm a Notre Dame, it makes geographic sense. One, you're in the state of Indiana. Two, one of your biggest rivals is now in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
The only thing I think they're very skeptical about is just losing their TV deal, which I can't blame them there.
Yeah.
Starkey, let's move on to your subjects now. I'm going to take the back seat, but I just want to start off and say Andrew Benintendi, woo pig. How many guys? Ole Miss don't got nobody in the MLB All-Star game. That's all I got going for us. But go ahead, Starkey. This is all you, my guy.
So the All-Star game rosters were announced. I'm trying to pull up all of the rosters really fast. I apologize. I should have had this done.
That's okay. We'll forgive you. Didn't you say you had breaking news too?
Yes, I do have breaking news while I'm pulling this up. One of the best events of the All-Star break is the Home Run Derby. News broke 36 minutes ago that Albert Pujols will be participating in the Home Run Derby. He and Miguel Cabrera were voted in, I believe it was Saturday, to the All-Star game. There is a clause that the new collective bargaining agreement has where one player from each league can be voted in as what they call a legacy All-Star. We mentioned it 2 weeks ago in the last episode that Albert Pujols, could very well have been one of these selections. And then Miguel Cabrera for the American League is also chosen. So those two guys have been in the league forever, done a whole lot for the sport. This is just a way for Major League Baseball to say thank you for what you do. We love you. We're going to send you out as an All-Star. So shout out to MLB for doing this, for making this happen for these guys. But yes, breaking news is that Albert Pujols will be playing in the will be participating in the Home Run Derby. So so the starters, and I'm just going to run through these real quick, no real commentary on them, but the starters for the American League. Catcher, Alejandro Kirk from the Blue Jays. First baseman, Vlad Guerrero Jr., also from the Blue Jays. Second baseman, Jose Altuve of the Astros. Third baseman, Rafael Devers of the Red Sox. Shortstop, Tim Anderson of the White Sox. Outfielder, Mike Trout, the GOAT from the Angels. Outfielder, Aaron Judge, MVP from the Yankees. Outfielder, Giancarlo Stanton of the Yankees. And designated hitter and also probably starting pitcher, Shohei Ohtani of the Angels.
I think I saw today he was announced as the starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Doesn't that take a roster spot away from somebody with him being voted in as a out player and a pitcher, like a field position player?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a set number of position players and a set number of pitchers. So since he was same guy, but he's both, so that kind of evens it out a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
For the National League, starting catcher Wilson Contreras, of the Cubs. First baseman Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals. Second baseman Jazz Chisholm Jr. of the Marlins. Third baseman Manny Machado of the Padres. Shortstop Trey Turner of the Dodgers. Outfielder Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Braves. Outfielder Mookie Betts of the Dodgers. Outfielder Jack Peterson of the Giants. And there were two designated hitters voted in. One because the starter has recently gotten hurt. Bryce Harper was voted in, but he is injured, and now William Contreras of the Braves is going to take a spot. First time since I think they said the 60s that two brothers will be starting the All-Star game for the same team. Wilson and William Contreras will be playing together in the All-Star game. So
let's go.
Yeah.
That's a proud mother right there.
Oh, 100%. Very, very proud family.
Isn't it still a rule, too, that every team has to have at least one player in the All-Star game?
I believe that's the case, yes.
Because I know that was a rule for people like, why is this guy in there? He's like the worst player when you could have like 10 other people who are killing it for a good team.
Yeah. Which is, we're going to get into that a little bit in what I'm going to talk about next. But yes, I believe that is still a rule that every all 30 major league teams have to have at least one representative from the All-Star game. People say that millennials started participation trophies. You can thank Major League Baseball for that.
I think they do it because nobody wants to watch it, and they're like, oh, maybe if we have somebody from Baltimore on it, that people from Baltimore watch it. They probably won't. But Starkey, let's get that blood curdling. Tell me who got robbed in the All-Star game.
I have 4 players. I have 4 players, 2 from each league, 1 pitcher, 1 position player.
Okay.
So start for the American League. The pitcher that should have been on there is Mr. Dylan Cease, starting pitcher for the Chicago White Sox. He's 7-4 on the season. He has a 2.45 ERA, which is 8th in all of Major League Baseball. And he has 133 strikeouts already on the season, which is 3rd in the majors. This man easily should have been in consideration to start the All-Star game, much less be an All-Star this year. So we got Dylan Cease, pitcher. Next, we're going to go Taylor Ward, outfielder, for the Los Angeles Angels. This guy's come onto the scene a little bit late. I believe he is a rookie this year. I think I could be wrong on that, but he got called up a little bit late. But since he's been called up, he's batting .301 on the season with 12 home runs, 34 RBIs, 42 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. But here is where he really produces at the plate. He has a 13.4% walk rate, which is 4th best in all of Major League Baseball. So if you need someone to take some pitches, get on base, Taylor Ward is your guy. But he can also swing it and produce for you also. So Dylan Cease and Taylor Ward are my All-Star game snubs. Are you ready for the National League?
I am. Let's go. Is Kyle Farmer on your list from the utility player from the Reds?
No, he's not.
I think we can stop the list right now, then. Let's hear who it is, because it's not my boy Kyle Farmer.
So, from the National League, pitcher, Mr. Carlos Rodon. Kind of a reclamation project. He used, at one point, I believe, he was the number 1 pick in the draft. I could be wrong on that. He was the number 1 pitching prospect in the White Sox organization. Didn't quite live up to the hype. they didn't extend him. He got on with the Giants. This season, he has an 8-5 record, a 2.7 ERA, which is 12th in the majors, and 124 strikeouts, which is tied for 4th in all of Major League Baseball. So the 8-5 record is just okay. But when you are top 12 in ERA and tied for 4th in strikeouts, you should definitely be on the All-Star roster.
I agree with you there.
And then for a position player for the NL, local guy, shout out to Soto Central High School.
Of course, you're one of those people.
Mr. Austin Riley.
Kyle Farmer.
Mr. Austin Riley, third baseman for the Atlanta Braves, should have been All-Star. Listen to this. He's batting .282 on the season, 23 home runs, which is tied for 5th in all of Major League Baseball and leads third baseman. He's hit 56 RBIs. He scored 50 runs, and he has stolen 2 bases. One of the best third basemen in all of baseball, much less the National League, and the man is not on the All-Star roster for the National League.
It's a crying shame, isn't it?
It is a crying shame. I agree.
Is he in the home run derby then?
I don't believe so. The news is still kind of trickling out for the home run derby.
Well, he needs to put his money where his mouth is then.
But yeah, those are my All-Star game snubs.
When is it? I know it's like always like on a Tuesday night or something.
Yes. So it is a week from tomorrow. The 19th. The home run derby is a week from tonight, the 18th. And then there's also, I think there's also a couple more events. I know there's always a celebrity softball, charity-based softball game. And then baseball takes 2 or 3 days off, much like the NBA All-Star game. And then they will get back into it in earnest, I believe, on the 22nd, next Friday.
Well, let's go. Sorry, folks. My computer was dying. I couldn't get the charging plugged back in. So I had to wiggle my camera there. Sorry. But I'm excited. It's just not the same anymore without Chris Berman going back, go!
I know. We definitely missed Boomer on the home run derby call. 100%.
Get him back, that's all I can say. I'm excited. I loved your breakdown. Starkey's the baseball guy of the podcast. I'm just a closet Yankees fan, so. Thank you, Starkey.
Absolutely.
Starkey, let's get into the real bread and butter of it. But first, we have an ad read.
Let's do it.
Starkey, would you say your wife's car is clean?
For once? Actually, yes. We actually took it to the car wash today.
Okay, I was hoping you would say no on that.
But if it weren't, who would I use?
DeSoto Cleaners, LLC, for all your cleaning needs. Folks, I can speak firsthand. My man Pope, John Pope, sorry, I can't speak there for a second. My man John Pope, he's great. Him and his team at DeSoto Cleaners do a great job. They'll come out to you, they'll clean the inside of your car, and now they may even clean the outside. They got some new equipment. I saw it over the weekend. I'm telling you right now, folks, give DeSoto Cleaners, LLC, a follow on Facebook or message my man John Pope. They'll come to you, rain or shine. Actually, they're probably going to do it in the shine, but they can't really wash your car in the rain. But they can clean the inside in the rain. They'll come clean your car any time of the day. They'll tell you, they'll meet you wherever you need to meet, wherever they need to meet you, okay? Or they need to meet you. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. I'm sorry.
Mention you heard this on Ball Don't Lie, and John might give you a high five.
For a second, I thought you were going to say a 10% discount. I was like, ooh, let's not do that. He hasn't given me the green light for that yet, but we can always try. So mention this for a 10% off. I'll find out tomorrow if...
At least a high five from John, maybe?
Maybe 10%? Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? But they sponsor John's a closet Grizzlies fan. So, basketball. Holy crap. We have a lot to talk about.
Going down.
Let's just start off with right here. Kevin Durant to Memphis, question mark? I think you're the only person that still wants this. I don't.
It will depend on what Common has to give up.
It was super fun when it first came out. I was like, oh my God, I think everybody in Memphis was calling, texting everybody they know saying, we're about to get Kevin Durant. I'm going to say Kevin Garnett, but we're about to get Kevin Durant. And then you start seeing people do trade requests. Then you start hearing what the Nets want. The Nets want at least 2 potential All-Stars and a plethora of picks. KD wants to go to a place where he can play with at least one NBA All-Star. Hear me out, and I hate to say this, but the only players we could trade that would be potential All-Stars are Jaren and Bane.
Yeah.
Ja's off the table no matter what.
Oh, 100%.
But you would get, it's not worth it, trading Jaren and Bane and like 3, 4, 5 picks for maybe a 2-year, if that, rental of KD.
You don't think you would play the full 4?
And
You don't think you'd play the full 4?
He's only got 2 more years left on his contract. No, he signed a 4-year with them 2 years ago. Yeah, he signed a 4-year. Remember, he signed the first year was the COVID year. That's the year he was at. They literally paid him a plethora of money to sit the whole year.
Oh, okay.
And then last year was his first year with them. So he's got 2 more years left on his contract.
Okay. I misunderstood.
You're good. No, that's it.
That's 4 years.
Well, that's ESPN for you saying 4 years, 70-something million dollar contract. That's ESPN for you. Don't give you the full. But yeah, it's a 2-year rental, if that.
Okay. Gotcha.
He also told Brooklyn he was going to stay there for 4 years, and he wanted out after 2. So I don't want him. I think the ideal spot, it makes me so mad to say this, I think the ideal spot for him, just for return, is Phoenix.
Okay. Ooh.
No, there's no way he goes back to Golden State. Golden State is retooling for the retirement of Steph, Clay, and Draymond when they can't play those minutes. They're getting ready for that. They got Moody, they got Kuminga, they got Poole, they got Wiseman. We'll get into Wiseman, all this later, but they're retooling for the future. Like, kind of getting ready for the next group of Warriors to come in. Not saying that Clay, Steph, and Draymond are done, but you kind of got to start taking the workload. You're going to have to start taking the workload off them to keep that championship mentality going every year.
Absolutely.
And I think you trading your young core that you've gotten lucky to get all of them.
Yeah.
For KD for maybe 2 years. If anybody's going to do it, the top 2 people are Phoenix and Miami, are KD's top 2 places, and it's the places that make the most sense.
Yeah.
So if he goes to, the main thing I've seen for him going to Phoenix is Mikal Bridges, your first team all defense wing defender there. Cam Johnson, probably your second best 3-point shooter, who in most teams would be the best 3-point shooter, just the fact he's played behind Devin Booker.
Yeah.
So honestly, a truly number 1 3-point option, who's a second 3-point option just because of Devin Booker. And you would probably try to do a sign and trade with Ayton to Brooklyn. But Brooklyn's already made it obvious they do not want Ayton. They want Booker. Grand, you could actually win with a Paul, Ayton, KD lineup. Looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
And they want, I think it's like 3 to 4 first-round draft picks. I'm Memphis. I don't want to give up that many draft picks. Because it's just like, you look at it, like, look at what we've done with our draft picks, no matter where we got, where we've had them. We always find diamonds in the rough.
So let me ask you this, though, just kind of playing devil's advocate. If we were to win a title with Kevin Durant, would those 4 draft picks be worth it?
Who am I giving away, Jaren? Desmond? No.
Really?
Here's the thing. The Grizzlies, right now, if you look at it, with how good they are, you have a chance to build a dynasty like the Warriors. You got your defensive player like Golden State does. You got your sharpshooting 2 guard like Golden State does. And you got your electric all-star flying point guard. Granted, Steph doesn't really fly, but he lets the ball fly.
Yeah.
You have your 3 pieces for success. You just got to, once they get older, mature a little on the court, you surround them with assets that can make them better. For like the Grizzlies, you need more shooters with Ja. More tall, stretch forward defenders. More rebounders. You get that, you have a dynasty in the making here in Memphis. So I honestly, if any of those guys, I don't want to. Now, DB, I would trade DB in a heartbeat. Dylan Brooks. I would trade, I hate to say it, I would trade Steven Adams in a heartbeat. That's kind of why Phoenix is so hesitant to trade Mikal Bridges. Trade Cam John. I think they would trade Cam, but they do not want to get rid of Mikal.
No.
Ayton, I don't know where Ayton's going to end up. Ayton is honestly probably everyone.
I don't think Ayton knows where Ayton's going right now.
So what I've read is everybody is waiting to see where KD goes before Ayton signs, because you don't want to take on that salary cap. So that's why a sign and trade would be very possible. I just don't know where he goes. And then you go to Miami, they're going to have to trade Bam, Tyler Hero, and I think Duncan Robinson as well to make the salary cap works.
Yeah.
Now, granted, and about 3 picks. Granted, Miami, that takes you to the next level.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know where KD goes. I really don't know. Here's the thing. He does not. I don't think he'll hold out. Scratch that. I think KD will hold out if this goes into the.
I can see that, yeah.
Here's the thing, too. Memphis, we still have our mid-level exception. Just throwing it out there. Get KD on that mid-level? No, kidding.
Yeah, right.
He's on a contract. We can't do that. But we also had some more shocking trades, though, Starkey. I would say probably the Celtics won again. They got their point guard that they desperately needed. I thought they were going to get Tyus.
Yeah.
But they got Malcolm Brogdon for Daniel Theis, Aaron Naismith, Nick Stauskas, Aaron Fitz, and Morgan, and for a 2023 first-round draft pick for Malcolm Brogdon. Now, granted, if Malcolm Brogdon can play 60, 70 games this year, or just keep him healthy to the playoffs, that Celtics team's now with getting Danilo Gallinari, I think that's your Western Conference team or your Eastern, your Eastern Conference.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
It's going to come up between down to them and Milwaukee. Sorry, I couldn't think there. It's them and Milwaukee. So we'll get to Milwaukee here in a second. And then we had, honestly, the stupidest trade, but Danny Ainge did it again. Rudy Gobert got traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves, which I will get to break down this second, for Malik Beasley, Pat Bev, Leora Balmaro, Walker Kessler, Jared Vanderbilt. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 first-round draft picks.
Which is crazy because I heard that
for Rudy,
maximum you could trade.
One's a pick swap.
Oh yeah, okay, I forgot.
So I think it's their 2026 as a pick swap.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
For Rudy freaking Gobert. Look up his contract for me. Look up how many years he got. Look up how many years he got. Look up how much it is and how many years he left for me, please. Dude, that is in the words of, that's just the stupidest trade. I guess that's a Chris Wallace trade right there.
Oh, 100%.
That is literally Chris Wallace to a T making a trade right there. Rudy Gobert, he does not take that team to the next level. What he'll do, Rudy will put them to the second round of the playoffs, if that.
Are you ready for this?
I know he's making a crap ton of money. How much is he making?
He signed a 5-year, $205,002 contract. The first year of that contract was this past season.
So he's got
So
4 more
yes,
years left.
yes, he has 4 years left. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
He's making over $50 million.
Yeah. So this next season, just rounding, he'll be making 38. And the next season after that, 41, 43. And then the last year of his contract is 46.
Oh, I was wrong. My bad.
So, yeah, so it all rounds up.
So you
so
signed
backloaded contract.
You signed him. You traded for him. You gave Cat well-deserved max extension, 5 years, $193 million contract. How in God's name are you going to pay Anthony Edwards?
I'm not sure they can now.
Because you're already over the luxury tax now.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And here's the thing. They gave away so many guys. Granted, Pat Bev, I like Pat. I hate playing against him, but I like watching him play. You gave away your best wing defender, or perimeter defender in Pat Bev. You gave away, honestly, your best shooter.
Yeah.
On that team, and Malik Beasley, who can get hot. Trust me, we saw it firsthand in the playoffs. He can get hot any second.
Yep.
And you gave away your best, honestly, I would say your best front court defender, Jared Vanderbilt, who's a dog.
Your boy Walker Kessler.
No, get out of here with that Walker Kessler crap. But I just don't get where. I get it. A-Rod's the new president now, going to effect next year. They said, yeah, let's make a big trade.
Yeah.
I mean, KD was out. They wanted KD. Earlier, KD, the Nets reached out for Cat for KD. I'd make that trade.
The Wolves laughed in their faces and hung up.
Hear me out, though. So, what have I said half the numerous episodes about the Wolves? They don't have a leader on that team.
No, they don't.
Kevin Durant would be that leader on that team. So, I'm just throwing it out there. Cat's not a leader. He's the most veteran guy on that team, and he's not the leader.
Just for kicks, do you want to hear what the Wolves were asking for KD?
What?
Or what the Nets were asking? Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and 4 1s.
Yeah, they thought Rudy Gobert was 5 1s.
Yeah.
I'm just abysmal by this whole crap. It makes zero sense of why you trade 4 picks and basically the right to pick swap. So I count that as 5 picks for a center who's kind of on the plus side of 30.
Yeah, he's turning 30. This is his 30 season.
So it makes zero sense to me there, but maybe I'm wrong, but I can go on a limb and say I'm right. But can I just say, well, now we're going to break into free agent signings now. We got through this. We got through a Chris Paul, 2 terrible trades in KD. So free agent signing, we all were super nervous. Yes. But the best free agent signing of them all happened. Jitty. I'm the only person in the world with a John Conchar jersey. I guarantee it.
You are.
Jitty got a 3-year extension, baby. Let's
go.
3 years, $19 million. Let's go. That was probably the most shocking Grizzly free agent signing of the whole thing, honestly.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Tyus Jones returns for a 2-year, $29 million contract, which is very shocking to me, though, because I just did not see I thought for sure Tyus would get starter minutes and money somewhere. Granted, you're paying a lot of money for a backup point guard, but granted, Josh never made it through 1 season, so.
Yeah. And if you look at it, though, with all the trades that were happening, his starting market dried up.
Oh, yes.
Very, very quickly. It's really, like you said, the Celtics were really the main team with a glaring need at point guard.
I would say it was them and Minnesota with the two teams I was worried about getting Tyus.
Yeah.
So answer me this. Would you rather have Tyus or would you rather have Jalen Brunson? Non-biased speaking.
Non-biased?
I would take Tyus.
I don't know.
You don't know with Jalen Brunson. He had one good year, and he had one good back half of the season, and he just granted he got $100 million contract. Tyus has been consistent. If I'm going to sign Tyus to a team, I'm going to make sure I surround. Tyus can run an offense perfectly.
Oh yeah, we've seen that.
He doesn't get hurt. Granted, I'll probably just jinx us for the year, but
thank you.
You're welcome. So I would take Tyus though. That's just me. And that's non-biased.
I don't know. I was intrigued by the possibility, like the idea of Jalen Brunson.
He does offer more scoring though than Tyus does.
Yeah. But like I said, I figured he would want to go somewhere and start. Which is what
then we lost.
Thanks give him that opportunity.
And then we lost Kyle.
Gives him that opportunity.
I'm not sad. I'm sad we lost Kyle, but I'm more pissed that we lost Kyle to Minnesota. And for the contract, 2 years, $18 million.
Yeah.
What kind of mid-level exception that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mid-level exceptions, $10 million a year. We could have. Granted, I get it. You want to get younger, get players that fit more your offense, but.
Although, can I say one thing about the Tyus signing?
Yeah.
A 2-year deal to Tyus is absolutely perfect because it gives stability at backup point guard for 2 years. Because, like Jared said, Ja has never made it through a cool season since he's been in the NBA. But it gives time for Kennedy Chandler to develop. And at the end of that 2-year contract, we can say, Tyus, we love you. Thanks for everything. But we're good now with Kennedy. So that 2-year contract for Tyus could not have been better for the timeline of the team, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and the NBA contract, like the salary cap, is going up every year.
Yeah,
it's just going to benefit Tyus even more. But the next person, the next going through some other lists, who I'm kind of shocked that I wish we kind of would have got was Dante DiVincenzo. Sorry, I can't pronounce that name. 2 years, $9.23 million.
Yeah.
Two of all the freaking teams, the Warriors.
The rich just stay getting richer. It's not fair.
Freaking men.
It's not fair.
Bobby Portis got paid.
He did.
4 years, $48 million.
Wish it would have been us, but I digress.
To stay in Milwaukee, that's good. That's great for them. Danilo Gallinari, honestly, I would have loved him to come to Memphis, but like I said earlier, he got bought out by San Antonio and ended up going to
the Celtics.
Get richer there, definitely.
Yeah.
Mo Bamba, another dark horse that we wanted. Shocked everybody. 2 years, $20 million contract. Orlando's going to be so freaking tall.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So if they ever put it together, yeah, good luck scoring on that team. The next team,
the Cavaliers of the South.
100%. Oh gosh, yes. The next couple of guys were guys we wanted, like Joe Ingles. I wouldn't have mind Joe Ingles signed a 1 year, $6.48 million. With Joe, he goes Milwaukee. You don't know with how old he is, how he's going to return from an ACL injury. Another guy, he hasn't been the same since the bubble, TJ Warren.
Yeah, that was the name that kind of shocked me, for sure.
So do you remember how much they paid for him? How much Brooklyn?
No.
1 year contract, $2.63 million. Lonnie Walker got a 1 year, $6.48 million contract. Let me see. Marvin Bagley, the guy I desperately wanted for a recollection project. 3 years, $37 million contract to stay in Detroit. Oh, I forgot another trade. Sorry. It happened after the show. DeJounte Murray to Atlanta for 4 firsts and Danilo Gallinari, who I said a couple of seconds ago, just got waived. Honestly, I don't think that trade makes them any better.
No.
You have 2 guards that like to be ball dominant. I would say, honestly, the DeJounte Murray, he's supposed to be the defensive stopper, but who destroyed San Antonio every time we played them? Oh, Memphis did. Everybody had career highs against this guy that was first team. People wanted him first team all defense. So you got him for 4 firsts and Dylan Gallinari. That doesn't make you any better. And you just traded Kevin Huerter to Sacramento. Like, no, that does not make you any better. You have 2 ball dominant guards in your hands, and one of them is not a consistent shooter. And then probably 2 more, Starkey.
Sorry, there's one that I'm looking for. Keep going.
Is it Goran Dragic staying in Brooklyn for a 1-year, $2.9 million contract?
No, but if Tyus had walked, I would not have been mad about Goran coming to Memphis. Although I will say this, and we were talking about it off the air. I did not realize how long he has been in the league. He's been in, this is like his 14th year. It seems like it should be his 6th.
Remember, he was back in Phoenix when it was him, Isaiah Thomas, and who was the other guy? They had 3 point guards. I can't remember who it was. I have to look it up for later. They had 3 point guards, and they chose to ship off Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Eric Bledsoe. It was him, Eric Bledsoe, and no, it was Brandon Knight. Yes, it was Brandon Knight. It was Brandon Knight, Goran Dragic, and Isaiah Thomas. And they believed in the other 2 than Isaiah Thomas. And we all saw where that got him. But the next one is John Moran getting a max contract. And here's the thing, folks. Didn't notice the other day. His contract is 5 years guaranteed. No player option, no team option. Josh said, I'm committed.
Very rare that a guy who signs a rookie max extension does not have a player option for the last year. That shows Josh's dedication to Memphis.
Oh, it's unheard of. So did I get the one you missed? You wanted?
No. Okay. So this guy, I honestly never heard of him before in my life. Mr. Trevelin Queen.
Trevelin Queen, baby! MVP of the G League.
I've never heard of this man. Apparently, he killed it in the G League. But he signed I have it right here. He signed a 1-year deal with the 76ers. And then news broke, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, when Philadelphia called him. He was on vacation on a cruise and he didn't have his phone with him. Or his agent was trying to call him something. He didn't know about his new deal with the 76ers because he was on a cruise in the middle of the ocean.
I love it.
But yeah, Trevelin Queen, shout out to you, my guy. You probably became one of the top hits on Google because no one's ever heard of you before.
And you got the best name ever.
Do what?
And he's got the best name ever.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, yeah.
If I'm not naming my next child Zach Wilson, I'm naming my next kid Trevelin Queen. Trevelin Queen Cox. I love it. And, after free agency, we're still going on. We still got some big ones. You got Bagley, and surprisingly, Colin Sexton is still available.
Yeah.
I don't think we need him now, but here's the thing I read the other day. The Grizzlies are the only playoff team not to sign or trade for anybody this offseason outside of who played for them this year. So we only signed Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
We're the only playoff team not to make a trade or sign anybody. That's because Zachary Kleiman and Zach we trust believes in his core that he can develop right now, and I still believe they are going to make a trade. I don't know for who.
Well, you have to think about it too. Look at the guys who are on the smaller contracts. You have guys like, I know he's playing in the summer league right now, but you have Tillman.
No, he's gonna get cut, unfortunately.
You have Tilly.
Tilly, definitely. I don't feel bad for that guy.
No. And then I was looking at the roster earlier, but you have guys on small, easy write-off contracts that we can get rid of and get that money off the books. We can cut your boy Jarrett Culver, free up $8.1 million.
He's already cut. We didn't pick up his option. He's free.
Okay, well there you go. That saved $8.1 million. And then we can
also, I don't know
trade us on someone.
Thought about this too. That's another reason why we haven't given BC a contract extension.
Wait, why not?
BC could be trade bait.
Yeah, he
could. Put the trade bait in the package, but that's why you're not giving him a contract extension he well deserves. Yeah. Because no team probably wants to take him on for whatever you pay him.
Yeah.
That's why when I heard Grizzlies offered contract extension, I was like, oh my gosh, BC got paid. It was jitty, but hey, I was still happy either way. I don't know. You're definitely going to make a move. So let's jump into Summer League, where the future of the team is. We suck. We cannot shoot.
No, we can't.
Last night, I watched the abysmal Minnesota Timberwolves and Memphis Grizzlies play. They ended up, at one point in the game, both teams were combined 3 of 45 from 3.
That is appalling to me as an NBA fan.
The game ended both teams combined 7 of 65 from 3.
That's like they combined for what I might put up in 3 pickup games by myself.
I'm about to say, man, I think I can make more than 7 threes in 65. And half of them are wide open shots.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing. But we looked great in Utah.
Oh, yeah. What?
I got pissed that we rested guys. Yeah. I get it. You're trying to see what all you can do. But Memphis, you're going to win now with these rookies. You need to see what you got ASAP.
Yeah.
Larivia, the white Larry Bird, or the young Larry Bird. Sorry, not the white Larry Bird. Young athletic Larry Bird. Sorry for the culture, dude. He's going to be so freaking good.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
He's got one of the quickest releases I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and it looks like it's going every time. Roddy hasn't really impressed me that much on the court.
No.
I say give Roddy time. Let him get a sense. His form is there. Give him time. Let them try to find a true spot for him. Right now they're playing with the 3 and the 4. Right now he's built for it, but right now he's not ready for the 3 and the 4 minutes. Kennedy Chandler, make some freaking shots, man.
He's showing up on defense, though.
Defense, yes, but I need you to make shots on offense. I need you to make some shots on offense. Santi, I don't know how I've felt.
Who knows?
So he looks great as a big man. Down low, underneath the glass. Granted, he's a lot better than everybody he's playing. He looks great on the glass. Like, back to the back, all that. He looks great. His shooting's it's just not impressing me like what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. He's going to be your stretch 4 this year. He's going to have to be.
He's going to have to be. Unless you plug Laravia in as a rookie.
I mean, you could, but you're taking I don't think you do that
Huge
already.
gamble.
But Laravia is not ready for starter minutes. But it's time for you to step up, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to be the 4 until Jerry gets back, probably, because you have to spread the floor. We have proven with the JV and BC lineup that does not work for BC.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not going to work for a BC Steven Adams when neither one of them shreds the floor.
100%.
Tillman, I love Tillman. I think Tillman's last season is this year. I think he'll be part of one of the final cuts, and it sucks.
Yeah. Although I sent it to you a couple weeks ago, or I guess last week, but Peter Edmiston, one of the afternoon DJs for Sports 56, he put on Twitter, he says, when you see David Roddy and Mr. Kenneth Lofton Jr. together in the pick and roll, this is one of the tweets of
You're
the
getting
year.
out of the way.
It becomes the thick and roll.
Hey, I'm all for that because we haven't even got my boy Kenneth yet.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. But
Kenny is averaging
the size
11
that we have on this team, not necessarily height, but the bulk we have on this team is going to be something fun to watch for sure.
Mr. Lofton is adding 11 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. He showed Chet. You're going to have to bulk up, son.
Yeah, 100%.
Kenneth, a lot of people think he's all right. We should get him off at 2-way right now. No, I don't. I think he's going to be an NBA player. He's going to be a rotational guy for you. Maybe start for you here and there, but he's got to get. I want to see how he plays against real NBA players, like veteran guys.
And I will say this: like, nothing against him, but conditioning needs to be a thing.
Oh yes. Well, granted, he came from Utah and then Utah to Vegas, but I just want to see how he's going to do with his size. He's a mini Zebo in some ways, not weight-wise. I think he weighed more than Zebo ever did, but
yeah.
I just want to see how he plays against better competition. Granted, he went one-on-one with Chet, and he held his own ground.
Oh, 100%.
Gave up 5 inches, and he held his own. I would say he won the battle. And plus, people went on about how great Chet did, set the record for blocks, all this. Dude, you played against Taco Fall.
Yeah.
And I love Taco. Chet will be good, but I don't think it's going to be a long-term developmental project. Chet has the tools. If he can add weight, I think Chet will be a solid contributor in the NBA. Or a solid player in the NBA, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you didn't watch last night, but James Wiseman made his return, baby.
He did.
And
he did.
watching Summer
really,
League,
really happy for
watching Summer League. This scares me down the road. So Wiseman did play it all last year rehabbing. Year 1, he was out of sort just because I think they didn't know how to truly play him. He's bulked up. You could tell that last night. He bulked up. I think he's finally found his place in the NBA, knows what he needs to do to be successful.
Yeah.
He's going to be a force. If he stays healthy, James Wiseman is going to be a force to reckon with in the NBA.
100%.
Well, Kuminga, he looked phenomenal. Granted, Kuminga played a lot of playoff minutes this year.
Yeah.
He should not be in the G League, but
no.
Kuminga looks freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And then Moses Moody, 34 points the other night. And you got Lester. Lester's stats aren't there, but you can tell he's going to be a long-term player in the NBA just because he has a natural feel for the game.
Yeah. Oh, he'll definitely be a long-time role player.
And he'll be off a 2-way contract next year, 100%.
Oh,
Whether it's Golden State or somewhere else, Lester will be off a 2-way. It will be I think he'll have a John Conchar career.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, John Conchar doesn't score. Lester doesn't have to score to be successful. Lester the other night had 0 points. Shelley played 25 minutes, 0 points. He shot the ball 6 times, missed all 6 shots, but you know what? He had 7 rebounds, 2 assists.
Yeah.
And was great defensively.
He has an incredible basketball IQ, which teams and coaches love.
And I'm going to say they also got, for the culture, Mac McClung.
Yeah, don't remind me of that either.
I love Mac McClung.
I like him too. I was kind of hoping he'd be a Grizzly.
Hey, freaking man. Another guy we haven't really talked about, Zaire. So, Zaire's on the ball, I think, has taken that next step. He looks great in Utah, in my opinion. Struggled at times, but scoring-wise, we struggled. But him moving the ball, facilitating, he could fill that void. The one thing I was hoping he would have taken that next step like Bane did was finishing and shooting a little bit better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I would have liked to see him have taken that step towards being a leader. Because that's honestly what I believe what's hurting this Grizzlies Summer League team is we don't have a leader.
Yeah.
Zaire, this is your team. You're the 10th overall pick. You played significant minutes all year for this team.
Significant number of starts as a rookie.
You need to get these guys up and get them right because they're not going to play Zaire a lot.
No.
But we need him to be the big brother, be the mentor, be the vocal leader. And he's not been it so far. Granted, he's only 20 years old, but still. Bane was 22, 23. Or 21, 22, somewhere in that range.
Somewhere
that next step.
Yeah.
The shooting's not there, but I think it will be. You have these guys that can shoot. It just takes time, honestly. And a lot of these guys are a little nervous, but I think we have a solid core. I don't know who will get. I think a lot of these guys will play in South Haven.
Yeah, I agree.
I know Lofton, I know Chandler will. Vince Williams will be, definitely.
And
Larivia and Roddy, I don't know.
Yeah.
The other 3 will definitely be in South Haven.
Yeah.
It's exciting times, Starkey, but it's also scary times.
Yeah, the fear of the unknown is rough right now.
So, we haven't done this. Oh, yeah, by the way, Penny Hardaway, you suck. Josh Minot had 23 points in one game. Guess what? He had more points in one game than he did his entire freshman season at Memphis.
It wasn't for lack of me trying to tell y'all.
Granted, he definitely needs to work on his shot a lot, but he gives me a smaller version of BC.
Yeah.
He can't shoot yet. I think he can. He will down the road.
I think it'll get there.
He's averaging 14.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. He can jump out of the gym. And it's just Penny. It's just funny to see. Why did he not play at Memphis?
I don't know. Listening to the radio today, they were saying if Penny would have played Josh more during that long losing stretch at the beginning of the season, at least 2 or 3 of those games probably would have gone differently.
Oh, 100%. You definitely would have beat Murray State.
Yeah.
It's what could have been. You look at a guy that barely played in college. I don't know how much of a contributor. Actually, he will. I think he'll be able to contribute some right now because they literally gave away their entire bench for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
So there's a chance for Josh to get great minutes next season.
They won't have a choice but to play. Necessity.
It sucks that he literally went 1 pick before us to all the places in Minnesota.
Yep.
Also heard some stuff that a lot of people are not worried about Jaren. That's good. Because, we didn't break that either. Yeah, folks, Jaren's out till December. Sorry, I meant to say that earlier in the show. But Jaren's out to December.
Yeah. That news broke about an hour before free agency started.
It literally broke right after the KD did. We went from oh my gosh to oh no. The one time in his career, Jaren stays healthy during a whole season.
Yeah.
You know, he's also never had an NBA off season where he's been healthy. Rookie year, he got hurt. They rested him for I think it was knee. Next year, bubble year, tore meniscus. Yeah.
At what point do you start to worry about whether or not he's, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, the two words that no one likes to hear, injury prone?
You kind of want to assume that now because he's only had one healthy season. But you kind of want to worry about that now. I guess you could throw it out there now that a lot of people are saying to trade it now. Why you can get some value back for him. But here's the thing, you're not going to find value in this guy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll talk about this more next week. That's a good ending segment for this. I like it.
All
we'll
right.
pick that up next week. So let's move on to our final part of the night. And it's a sponsored part. Porch to patio home inspections. If I'm buying a house in this economy right now, I want to make sure it's livable.
Yeah.
Structurally sound. I want to make sure it's not going to fall in on top of me while I sleep.
That would
not make sure there's any mold. Folks, give Mitch a follow. Give him a call. Porch to patio home inspection. We've been saying him since almost day one.
Mitch James is the GOAT, y'all.
He is the GOAT.
Give the man a call.
Yes, give the man a call. It's like Ghostbusters. Give Mitch a call. Use him. He'll be great. Realtors, he's very reliable. And he's a local firefighter. What more can you ask for? He's going to be even more safe about your house. He doesn't want to come help. He doesn't want to go put it out. So he's going to make sure everything is safe. But let's move on to the show. Starkey, I challenged you. I finished watching Game of Thrones last week again.
Okay.
And I know you haven't watched it, but a lot of people have said, and I agree with it, the ending of the last season is terrible.
Okay.
They screwed up when they did it.
I've heard that from a lot of people. Most people, actually.
So I asked you to find for tonight's hot topic, we haven't done it in a while, is name me a show or shows whose last season almost ruined the entire series for you. For me, I'm going to start off. I'm going to go Game of Thrones. It ruined it for me. It was terrible.
Okay.
You literally rushed the entire. Every season was 10 episodes. They literally rushed so many character endings and all that. Like Jamie Lannister, they ruined his character. Him going back to I'm not just because I know you. I'm going to make you watch it. I'm not going to ruin it. You're going to watch it and fall in love with it. They ended up ruining Jamie Lannister's character. They ruined. I think a lot of people got pissed at how they did Jon Snow at the end.
Yeah.
And as everyone saw the production stuff, you saw water bottles and Starbucks cups.
That's what I heard.
Sitting in the scenes because they just said, screw it. We're in it anyway. We're going to fire us. We're done in 2 episodes anyway. And the Battle of Winterfell was so dark. No, it wasn't like dark in general. Like literally, you had to turn the brightness up to 100%.
Yeah, aesthetically dark.
On your TV, yes, aesthetically dark. So that was one of my worst shows.
And
like I said, they just ruined so many character stories at the end. And you literally go ahead.
I was like, I heard the reason that happened, or one of the reasons that happened, was what season was that? Was the last one?
It was 7.
7. I had heard after season like 4 or 5, they ran out of book source material and they were making stuff up as they went.
I think that was more towards 6. I think you probably are right, but I think it was just 7. No, there's 8 seasons. I'm sorry, my bad.
Okay.
There's 8 seasons. So I think it was the 8th season that was just totally right. I think the 8th season they got there and they didn't even finish the book. Guy wasn't done writing the books.
Yeah.
Or was done writing the books. And then the final show that really pissed me off was The Office. They should have ended it 2 seasons earlier when Michael Scott left. Spoiler alert, Michael Scott leaves The Office. Jim Carrey.
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell, sorry. I'm tired, folks. I'm sorry. Steve Carell left.
Jim Carrey comes in later to interview for the job, though.
He does. Oh, by the way, Jim Carrey also retired from acting.
He did, yes.
That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry. Brain fart. But it was Steve Carell ends up leaving because he's like, I'm done with The Office. I want to do other things. And they bring in Will Ferrell for, I think, 2 episodes. It was funny. And then you go back and forth of different people being the branch manager of Dunder Mifflin. It just felt so fake. It was so. The episodes were stupid. They weren't as funny as they were. And then how they brought Steve back into it the last episode. He literally said one word. That's what she said. And then he talked. He had. I'm sorry, not word. He had 2 lines. That's what she said. And then he talked about all his kids.
Yeah.
About how the Office people are getting married, and he felt like a proud father with all his kids marrying their siblings. Which I get it, but the show was just so stupid. I think it was stupid with Adam. Every true Office fan agrees the show should have ended at 7.
Yeah. The show ended when Michael got on that plane.
100%. Okay, Starkey, what's yours?
So I was going to say honorable mention The Office for sure. So I'm not going to get back into that, but I haven't, and I don't know if this actually qualifies or not. I haven't actually finished the show yet because it is such a struggle to get through. The last season anyway. But Once Upon a Time.
So I've actually watched that. And I agree with you. So many people told me not to watch it. I didn't watch it. Like, watch the last season.
They should have ended it at the end of season 6. There is a scene. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but something happens. It fades to black, and it was the perfect ending. If I could go back a couple years, I would tell my past self, stop it when it fades to black and do not pick it back up. It was the perfect ending.
So, remember how I said the Game of Thrones, they ruined character development.
Yes.
The Office, they should have quit after the main character left.
Yes.
They didn't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't bring any of the main characters back besides one for the last season.
So, for the last season,
it was just the son.
And what?
Wasn't it just the kid, the boy?
So, a little bit of a time jump. The son comes back, different actor. 2 of the main characters do come back, but the last season they completely rebooted the show with the last season, which is stupid to me because if you're going to reboot the show, make it more than 1 season. But they're running through a ton of the same storylines. It's just really hard to get through. I do know, because I saw some spoilers, that some of the main characters come back for the finale. A lot of the main characters from the previous seasons come back for the finale. So that's really the only reason I'm trying to get through it. To see how they get to that point, and 2, to say I finished it. Because the first 6 seasons, one of the best shows on television, especially if you are like me and my wife, big Disney fans.
It's just like action. It's got a lot of action in it too.
Oh yeah, a lot of action, a lot of Disney storylines. Very, very well done show. But season 7 is just a struggle.
I believe you there. I was told by many people not to watch it, so they said it's going to ruin the franchise it's going to ruin the whole series for me, not franchise, but series for me. So I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like I said, I wish I could go back and tell myself to stop it when it faded to black at the end of season 6. But something happened after that, and then you're like, oh no, I have to know what happens next. And then you get into the last season, and it screws up everything for everyone. But yeah, I would say the last season of Once Upon a Time is probably the only show that I've watched where the last season was just, or the ending of it was just terrible. Besides
Well,
The Office, of course.
Oh, amen to that. Well, folks, I think that wraps it up for tonight. Sorry for my speech stuttering there. Sorry for my Game of Thrones fans for getting the amount of seasons wrong. That is on me. It was 8. I'm sorry. I love the show. I'm just not a big nerd. Starkey, do you have any final remarks, comments, anything like that?
I don't.
Real fast. A quick question though. It's gonna be quick. Would Ja cook MJ in a 1v1?
One, they misquoted Ja there. That was clickbait. 2, no.
One of my cousins texted me that today, and I said, "Yeah, no."
No.
I said, "Well, no." I told my boss, I said, "It really depends on how they play it. If they guard it, if we have a ref there, sorry for stuttering there. If we have a ref there and he plays it like they do back in the '90s, oh, John's done.
Oh, yeah.
John ain't getting near the rim. But if they do it how they do nowadays, oh yeah, John's gonna score because MJ can't touch him." Well, folks, that's it. We'll be back. Not stuttering for me next week, Starkey. Did you well, sir?
I do.